sea of green. What is happening to cryptocurrencies? Well, it seems like they truly are going for a moon. There's a lot of bullish signs emerging as we speak, guys. Wow, are we at that point in time where maybe perhaps, finally we'll start moving very fast and accelerate quicker, guys. To the point that we will create new all-time highs, and not just create a new all-time high then dump, but actually create new all-time highs and keep moving forward from then on out, right? The reason why this is a major sign of bullish activity, $1 billion USDT was just minted at Tether Treasury the morning of today. Again, it takes 3 days, usually the maximum time, it usually takes 3 days for this money to flood into cryptocurrencies. I think the majority of time it pushes it just strictly goes into Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin moves higher, guys, the rest of altcoins move or tries to follow, right? Unless Bitcoin dominance is moving higher. I think we're going to be talking about that in today's video, because there's a lot of things happening here. So yeah, this is a very bullish sign, to say the least. Okay, now it's a brand new week. A brand new week has appeared before us, guys, and this is the week where it's going to tell us if we should be bullish or bearish. This week will confirm it all. You guys want to know why? There's so much data coming in, but the key is going to be point number 2, which is May CPI inflation data comes out on Wednesday, folks. That's it. That's all we need to see. Nothing else matters, really, right? Maybe PPI, but other than that, CPI. Okay, so Wednesday we're going to watch out for that. We're going to be talking about it. I'm pretty sure it needs to come below expectations. Inflation just needs to go like this, guys, right? Inflation just needs to go down and down and down to meet its target of the Fed, which is 2%, I believe. Which will then do what? The Fed's reaction. The Federal Reserve Open Market Committee will set interest rates on June 18th after the CPI report. Right, so they're going to be watching for this data, guys, and right now the market believes, hey, that decision in June, right? So let's say inflation surprisingly comes low, right, and tries to meet the Fed's target. Will the Fed start cutting? Right, there is a possibility, actually. Why? Because FOMC polymarket users predict a 98% chance that the Fed will not make or have any rate cut changes on June 18th, right? So I'm guessing this is priced in, but there is a 2% chance, guys, right? Maybe it's a white swan event, right? If that does appear, by the way, if supposedly or surprisingly they do cut rates this month, guys, that's it. The markets are going to explode to a different dimension. I'm not even kidding, right? Because the whole market believes they're just gonna hold rates, but there's a 2% chance that a white swan will appear. A 2% is, I mean, there's still a chance, right? Especially when CPI will tell it all. That's why this is key. CPI needs to be bullish for markets, not bearish. Okay, it needs inflation needs to come lower, not higher. But someone else pointed out, I don't know if it was here or not. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys. Doesn't matter what the inflation report is. Powell will not change rates. The Fed's goal is always to destroy the economy, then to rebuild it. Destroy again so they can continue their scam of devaluation of the dollar. Interesting, huh? So what are they waiting for? Is it because inflation, right, still hasn't come and reached their target, or they really want an event to destroy it all? Then they can rebuild it by printing so much money, right? So again, but I do believe this week will confirm if we should be bullish or bearish completely, right? And it's fascinating how cryptos are rising before any of this data comes into place, which is I think maybe foreshadowing something, right? Maybe there are insiders trying to prop it all up, right, and try to get ahead of the curve before any of this data comes into place. Why? Because United States and China to hold trade talks in London as well, right? So this is happening today, or I don't know if it already happened. I haven't really seen any news come out, but again, look how much bullish things are happening this week, and then wait. So this week and next week is, I think it's next week that's going to be insanely bullish for XRP, because we have external talks with ETFs going live, with the case, right, the case update as well. and then FOMC all happens next week. So what's happening, right? All of a sudden, bullish things are happening, guys, right? So United States and China to hold trade talks this week. If this comes bullish, right? If they come out with some type of agreement, guys, it's just gonna get nuclear, right? United States says United States side-seeking handshake on rare earths agreement from China and London. Oh, and it happens in London. Where does it begin? It begins over there, right? Everything happens over there. So it begins. It begins appear today, right? Where everything starts to move like a what, guys? A snowball, right? And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But again, this needs to come in as bullish, guys, right? When this comes in as bullish, we're off to the races and nothing will stop it. Why? Let's play this. So this, again, wow, there's so much happening. I don't even know, guys. I'm actually a little bit like mind blown here.
Let me share with you what we know about what's taking place in London today. And we don't have a ton of detail here. We don't know the location or the schedule for today's talks, but we do know that senior officials from the U.S. and the Chinese delegations are meeting to discuss trade. Now, what's very interesting here is who will be attending these talks from the U.S. side of things. We've got the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent leading the charge alongside Jameson Greer, the U.S. Trade Representative. They led the talks in Geneva. But this time around, we've also got the addition of Howard Lutnick, the U.S. Commerce Secretary. And this is meaningful because he has...
So again, this is major, guys, because again, the reason why we're in a bear market, or not even a bear market, we're in a correction phase, you know why? It's due to the tariffs. Just slowly on one narrative, the markets hasn't pumped and created new all-time highs, and that narrative is attached to the tariffs, right? And which connects to China and this meeting right here with America, United States. If this comes in as bullish and there's some type of agreement, we're off to the races, which will front run CPI. And if that's bullish, that's even a bigger snowball, right, for the months to come, because inflation is cooling off or coming down. Then that's even a crazier snowball, because then it's gonna change Jerome Powell's stance, right? Then he's gonna turn bullish and start cutting rates. Do we see what's about to happen? I'm actually getting I don't know, my heart feels excited a bit. This is interesting.
Has oversight over export controls within the Trump administration, and this is where the focus is expected to be on these talks today, beyond tariffs on export controls, in particular around to China's exports of rare earth metals, these critical minerals that go into a number of sectors, from autos to chips to military equipment. And from the Chinese side, there's a big focus on U.S. export controls around advanced chip technology. So that's where the expectation is in terms of the focus of these talks today. As I said, we're still awaiting.
So America wants the rare earth metals, guys, right? Which is basically everything in the modern world. And then China over there exports from America, I believe.
In detail here, both sides have been very tight-lipped around where and when these talks will take place.
Yep, and it's in London, so we needed to go to you, and it looks kind of London-y over there. It's been like that all weekend here. We'll see. Let us. I don't know what to expect after the conversations last week.
It was a reset, I guess, on the conversation last week.
Last week.
Both sides accusing each other of not following the earlier
supposedly
Stockholm
President Trump
talks.
made some progress on the rare minerals and materials.
Right.
And I don't know whether that's obviously what we're going to hear about. And we will.
So this should be coming out maybe later tonight, if it's not already out by now, which is very bullish, right? And the legendary crypto face comes out, long everything this week. I smell Trump-China trade deal type bull action. You heard it here first. See you at the top this week. That's so crazy. So crypto face, if you guys don't know about him, he basically is a crazy trader, guys. Right, and he's made a lot of money from trading, I believe, and he's coming out, right? I don't know if he usually does this, to be honest. Which he obviously looked at Bitcoin's charts and whatnot, and he sees it as bullish because he says he's trying to front run it, I believe, right? He smells a deal happening, right, with Trump and China, which will then make or create bullish price action, right? Not to mention, see you at the top this week. Are we going to go in an explosive manner and literally reach or create a top this week, right? And again, that mountaintop. So I don't know, guys. There's so much happening here, which is why Bitcoin is front running every price action or every news and catalyst known to mankind. Bitcoin just hit $108,000 here, right? 108K, guys. I was going to talk about Bitcoin's dominance. It is moving higher. I'm going to say that for a later video tonight because again, it's following according to plan here. But look at Bitcoin, guys, right? So what's interesting about Bitcoin is that we need to keep moving higher. If on the weekly we start to stall, very bad signs, because there's going to be a triple bearish divergence. That must not happen, or at least a bearish divergence, right? At that, it needs to keep pumping. We cannot stall for too much longer, which tells me they're either going to pump it crazy here fast, right, or it's gonna die soon. So we're at we're at a point where they have to make a decision here, right? Either pump or die. But right now, if we look at all the catalysts going to appear in the coming week or two, this week and next week, it looks extremely bullish, doesn't it? Let's go to our Bitcoin chart right here. Let's see. Look at that, guys. Look at, that's crazy. Look at, oh my lord, that's insane, right? I just can't stop smiling. Consolidated, we pump, held resistance, tried to hold support, pumped, failed, broke a support, right? We came down, held support on the daily and 12 hourly, right? We closed candles. The candle body were closed above the support regions. I told you that's going to be strong support, right? Now we're at where are we at, guys? We're at strong resistance. Okay, guys, we're right here. We're reaching strong resistance. Out is at $109,000. I repeat, we must go above this region. Why? Resistance right here. Look at all that damn time. Look at all those damn times that it held resistance, held support, but failed. Right? Maybe it's gonna be easier to go and hold support for at this region because it already battled it back here, right? So like, imagine you're fighting a boss level monster or in a game, and you have it like you have him like at you just kept battling, right? His HP is getting lower and lower and lower. Now it's at 10 HP at this point in time, right? So it's going to be much easier to finish him off and hold this region as support and keep flying higher. Again, 109k is a must level to watch. If it does reject from there, it's going to be bad or bearish. But with everything else that's happening, I think it's going to be bullish, guys. Wow, that's so crazy. Are we about to moon? It seems like they're going for a moon, guys. But anyways, that's what face is. See ya. Prepare. This week and next week is going to be ballistic.